Felicia Moore here with you for another episode of Exit Realty, West Midtown's Realty Resources and Realities. Again, I am proud to be your host. I am the Director of Community Resources and Engagement here at Exit Realty, and this is one of the ways. Also, we'd like to come out and talk with you. There's so much information that you need to know if you're a current property owner, if you want to be a property owner. We can tailor the information for you or your small group, your church, or whatever. So please make sure you reach out to us. Let me give you the information. You can always send it to me at AskFelicia right there at the bottom of your screen at exitwestmidtown.com, or you can text me. You can text Ask Felicia to 85377. I'll get the message. I will return your call. Even if you have a general question about real estate, it may not have anything to do with the show. Or if you'd like me to come, me or some of the other brokers to come and speak at your group and just give you information. We are in a business. We're in a business to buy, sell, lease, do everything in the real estate realm. But here at Exit, as our broker of record, Mr. Michael Williams always says that we lead with a heart for the people. And in that, that means providing you with information that you may need. If you just have a quick question, we will feel more than happy to help, because I think that if we help you now, if you need help later, you might think of us. So please reach out to me and I will reach back and look forward to hearing your show suggestions, as well as perhaps coming to speak to your small group. So today we are still unlocking the path to property ownership and the essential preparation guide. This is part two. In our first part, we talked about picking a realtor and making sure you get someone who is responsive to you, who you can gel with, who is going to be experienced and knowledgeable and hold your hand tightly, and making sure that everything makes for a smooth real estate transition. And then we talked about, in tandem with that, having and knowing what you are pre-qualified for. No one wants to spend and waste time on a window shopping trip. Now, you might like window shopping. You might just look and maybe never intend to buy, or you might want to buy if you just see that thing that you want. But in order to do that, most realtors, or all realtors for the matter of fact, should, if they don't, require you to have been pre-qualified. Why? Because you want to know what your parameters are. How much house can I afford? And then you can start adding on those layers of where you'd like to live, how many bedrooms, bath, etc., that you want to have in your home to help make that search even better. But we listened to our home buyer seminar, which I'm going through because we had such great information. And we listened to, in part one, Bathsheba Francis, who is with Well Connected Funding. And she gave us some of the things that you're going to experience when you deal with her. We want to finish with her because she did have some more information and leads us right into what we're going to be talking about more about today. So let's hear a little bit more from Bathsheba. Then we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get into the next phase of how you prepare yourself for your real estate journey. Okay, hold on. Let me get her up on the screen. That would be helpful. And then we're going to go to a break after this, and I'll be right back.
The experience I had, we were able to get this young teacher at a school, local school here in Georgia, it's called Lilly Elementary. We were able to get her up to, she was qualified for $32,000 in down payment assistance, right? Amazing. So we got her pre-qualified. She found the home. She put the contract on the home, and then she went to do the inspection. Based on the results of the inspection, she got nervous and she freaked out and canceled the loan. So, the inspection is very important. Why? Because it tells you what's going on with your home. And what I like to tell people is ask saved that inspection sheet because once you purchase the home, there is like a manual of what you need to get done in that house. So it shouldn't freak you out unless your realtor say you should be freaked out about it, right? Because you want to know what's going on. They do an amazing job as far as telling you what's going on with your home. You want to know all those details, but don't get nervous about them unless your realtor tells you to be nervous. because, okay, because it's your manual. It tells you what you need to do and what you need to get done throughout the entirety of the home loan. So it's very
Yes, it is very, very important to get that inspection. And we're going to go and hear what our inspector has to say. He has a lot of great information. But again, this is a part of that preparation. You know that whatever purchase you're going to make, whether it's just a lot, you're going to need some level of either surveys or inspection, some pre due diligence, and you want to be prepared for that. You want to have money set aside to do that because it's extremely important. You might want to have it set aside for a couple of them. And the reason I say that is you might end up wanting to purchase one home and getting the full inspection, and after you find out it has mold and radon and pest and or whatever it is that says you don't want to purchase this property, you may need that same amount of money to do it on the next home that you have. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to hear about the property inspection. Please look at the bottom of the screen. I do have Miss Bathsheba Francis with Well Connected Funding, her information scrolling. If you miss it, feel free to come back, rewind the video, and pick it up and give her a call. She is one of many of the partners that we use here at Exit Realty West Midtown. So we will be right back.
The real estate market continues to change. Your local Exit Realty office is just a call away. At Exit Realty, we sell homes. Reach out to us today.
All right, and we're back, and now we're going to hear from our inspector. Let me put me up here. He's going to give you such great information. Again, we're talking about on your path to this property ownership, what are the things that you're going to need to prepare yourself? And this is going to be one of those things. And so I would put this in your list of things that you want to have that money set aside for, because you don't want to buy a pig in a poke, as they say. You don't want to buy a property and then find out you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of problems, or you bought something that you didn't know what you were getting. So let us share my screen here in just a minute. Let me get to the video that I want. But Dylan will give you a lot of information about what he looks for in an inspector and what you should look for in an inspector. You may want to start looking for inspectors on your own or your realtor, like Exit Realty West Midtown. We have partnerships with many inspectors, and we can always recommend somebody for you. So let's get Dylan up here. And you will see our broker of record, Mr. Michael Williams, introduced.
We got a house under contract all of a sudden. We call Dylan. Now, Dylan, we need to kick the tires on this house and see what's going on with it. So Dylan's in the home inspection piece of the puzzle, right? So all these professionals work in concert together. So Dylan, if you don't mind sharing a bit about what it is you do in helping homeowners that get that home that they're so crazy about.
Thank you, Mark. My name is Dylan Gardner. I'm the owner and lead inspector for inspections by GES. So after you get with Michael, get with the lender, get everything set up, you guys give me a call. And then we schedule your inspection, and I come out and I inspect everything from the front curb all to the back property line, all the way down to, is the soil good under the foundation?
So let's start with what he's saying. They inspect from the curb all the way to the back of the property. So if they observing a lot of holes in your property where there may be some water or moisture damage around your foundation, those kinds of things, those are things that are made note of, and those are things that are important to know. So that's one of many things that inspection will give you. Let's go on, Dylan.
Because if you have, for instance, starting at the front door, you got a crack on your driveway and it's bigger than 1 inch. Well, what's causing it? Did somebody drive a semi in that driveway? Or is the dirt washing out from under the house? Then we look at the roof, we look at everything. We're not here to scare you. We're here to show, is what you're about to take possibly $1 million in lending and put that money into, is it worth that? Are you willing?
Again, he says, is it worth what you're paying for it? Do you know what you're buying? And that is why inspections are so important. It's easy to say, I'll save the money, I won't do it, but you are making a big mistake. And any realtor who's working with you is definitely going to tell you you're making a big mistake.
Going to buy, for instance, I just had an inspection yesterday. It was a $717,000 house. I was there on the 11-month warranty yesterday. And that inspection turned up a lot more than I've seen on a 100-year-old house. And so anything from 1 day old.
Of course, I'm stopping him because I just don't want you to miss the great points that he's making, that he inspected a new home that has just as many problems as a 100-year-old home. So don't think because I'm buying new construction is brand new and everything's fine. There are many horror stories and realities, which we probably will do a show on at some time in the future, about purchasing new homes, because all builders are not the same. Some of them follow the rules, others of them skip the rules. Inspections are important on a resale or old home, whether, like he said, it's 100 years old, 50 years old, 10 years old, but even more important when you're building a new home. You want someone who has your back, who is making sure when you purchase that property that when the house is being built, that things are being done correctly. You can't just lean to the city's inspectors. There'll be things that they catch, there'll be things that they won't catch. You want somebody on your side, and I highly recommend, if you are purchasing a new home, to have inspections, not after it's all built, but even along the way. So let's get back to Dylan.
To 300 days old or 300 years old, you can have issues. We're gonna test every component, every door handle, we're gonna try to step on every piece of flooring if it's a vacant house. Making sure there's no squeaking, make sure there's no creaking. And we work with people like Aero Extermination. We work with home warranty companies. We work with all of them to help make your purchasing experiences easy, and so you know every bit about the home. When we do our reports, we document everything from the age of the water heater, age of the AC system, the furnace, the dishwasher, fridge, oven, garbage disposal, everything. We're going to document what type of lighting you have in the house. Is it LED already, or is it still in halogen style? We can do energy evaluations on the house to see what your average usage is going to be.
And that's another great point that people don't think about is, are the lighting fixtures up to standard? LED lighting versus incandescent lighting, whatever. But the energy, and people don't prepare for this. So you want to put this on your preparation list and making sure that you understand, if you can, which he says that they can assist you with their inspection company, is understanding the energy usage. Why is that important? Because you want to be prepared for when you buy that house and you start getting the water bill and the sewer bill and the light bill and any other bills related to that as it relates to utilities, gas, and all of that. You want to know that it's going to fit within your budget. Because remember, you got this new mortgage out here, unless you pay for it in cash, and then you're going to have those monthly fees for your cable and your utilities and other things. You want to be prepared because you want to have a sense of what that costs. And he's saying his inspection company can help you with the energy usage so that you have better information, you can be better informed. It could be that there's not enough insulation in the house. There's a high uh, electric bill. Well, it may be because there's no insulation in the house. If you know those things, you can either require to have your crack realtor try to negotiate some concessions with the purchase of the property, or you may want to reduce the price of it because you know it's going to cost you X. So many things that you can take in consideration. But you know what? You can't fix things that you don't know about. Let's get back to Dylan.
Going back to working with Arrow. So a home inspector can tell you that they're certified for what eating organisms. We're there to see if there's signs of them. We're there to see, is there the tunnels? Is there the dust? Is the wood rotted out due to termites? When we go up in attics, we look for bats, look for rats, look for raccoons, squirrels, everything. And an attic that a squirrel is using as a passageway from one side of the house to the other might seem harmless, but their nails and any diseases they carry is getting all through that attic, which is getting into your HVAC system. It's getting into the house. So the house is no longer safe due to any of those listed rodents or insects.
And that's an important thing. You have that wood infestation report because termites are not fun. I've experienced that. Also, you want to make sure there are no other entryways into the house for other pests. The homeowner's not going to tell you that there's a little mouse that lives there. You may want to find that out or find out if there were signs for that. The inspection will do one part, and then having certified people who deal in pest control can help you identify the others.
So when we do the report and we see the signs of that, we do recommend companies like Arrow for you to contact them, to have them do a deeper dive into that. We're also, with our inspection.
So they also partner with other people who can help you to remediate or give you some sense of that. So please understand that all of these things kind of work together. But we want to emphasize in this show, be prepared to pay for an inspection and a good inspection. We'll talk about some of the other elements that could be as well in that inspection report. I want to make sure that you have the money, like I said, maybe for a couple inspections. Hopefully you only need one, but one inspection on that home that you're going to put that contract down and you're in the due diligence phase and you're going to find out how you want to further negotiate or whether you want to purchase the property. You may find that you don't want to after the inspection report, and then maybe have some money aside so that you can get another inspection on the next home that really helps you. So that's Dylan's information. We'll be right back with Dylan, but we're going to take a break and then we'll come back, finish up with Dylan, and then continue on our parts of, what is it that we need to do to be prepared if you want to own property. And we're back and we want to continue on with Dylan. He's given us some excellent information. It is his information is scrolling at the back of the screen. Make note of it. You might not need it now, but you might want it later. Also, I tell people who are interested in selling their houses, if you can prepare yourself a little money to have Dylan or another inspector come and inspect your home before you put it on the market. Why? Because it gives you valuable information. There may be some minor things that you can fix. You don't want to scare off a buyer that has a list of 100 and something things to do. If you remember in the beginning of the video, he talked about, they check every doorknob, every outlet and all these things. If there are small and minor things that you can get fixed, so when your buyer comes along and does their inspection and their list is down from 100 things to maybe 10 or 15 or 20, it will make your property better. And if you're selling it as is, even if you're doing that, there may be some minor things you might want to go ahead and fix. And if you don't, at least know what's going to happen, what's going to show back up on their report, and where you may have to make some concessions of your price if it's too much for them to do at the purchase price. So we're going to go back to Dylan, and we're going to hear the rest of his presentation.
Telling you, is this something you want to purchase, and also is this something you want to put a warranty? Is this something you're wanting to live in? We've gone into houses that the only issues we found was some doors that didn't shut correctly because they were just hung in properly. So we can find anything. And the average inspection, you're looking at 3 to 4.5 hours for just an inspection. If we're doing radon, we're going to drop equipment off overnight and into the next day, possibly another day, depending on.
Okay, so he says 3 to 4 hours, and that's the general house inspection. But he's now beginning to talk about other things that you should consider testing. If you're going to be living in this house, you want to know if there's radon. It really doesn't hurt to know, but it certainly hurts you if you don't know. It's a cancer-causing agent. It is prevalent in Georgia, and radon testing is important, but you're going to have to pay for it. Also, mold. Mold, is one of those things. There are probably a lot of places that have some level of mold, but you want to know what the air quality is. You want to know if you can find out where the source of that mold is coming from. Can it be remediated? Can the water or whatever that's causing it, that may be getting somewhere to causing this mold, can it be stopped? You want to make sure that you're moving into a house that not only looks good, that fits all your other criteria, but is safe to live in. Let's go.
The readings we're getting. Mold, we'll do that all in one day. The wood eating organisms, we'll do that over there. Roof inspections, 12-foot long branch that's a foot in diameter laying over your house or hanging over your house that's dead. And we can help you at any point through the process. If you have any questions, we're a phone call away. And you call the number for our company, I'm the one you're getting. I don't have a call center you call. If I'm in the middle of an inspection or talking with the client, I will call you back. You're not going to get somebody in my office that's going to go, okay, well, I think he meant this by this. You're going to get me. I'm going to be able to answer the questions about the inspection I perform for you.
And that's important. There are many companies that are larger. Dylan does his inspections. Him and his wife work the administrative end as well. And so, like he said, you're going to get him, you're going to have that direct contact with the person who did the work on the property. That's important.
And does anybody have any questions?
And so, do we have any questions? I don't think so, because he did such an excellent job. We need to make sure that we don't shortcut ourselves when we're making one of the biggest investments that we can make. And the whole goal of this is not only just telling you the steps, but putting things on your list that you need to be prepared for. And know what you're going to be getting into, and have that little money aside for the things that you're going to need. In this case, for your inspections, like I said, making sure you have the resources available to purchase an inspection, and maybe a two, in case the first one doesn't work out. There's another house that you're interested in, and you maybe want to do that as well. So this is going to wrap up our this episode of Realty Resources and Realities. Of course, we're going to continue to unlock the path to property ownership and give you this essential preparation guide based on the wonderful information that Michael Williams, our broker of record, put together in our last home buyers seminar. So come back to our next show. At our next show, we will certainly be talking about what Dylan has kind of set us up for, is to talk about the inspection from a pest control standpoint, what you need, why you need it, and why you should be prepared for it. I thank you so much for joining us. Again, ask you to please like this video. Take a moment before you leave out and like this video, share this video, and subscribe. It will really help us, because we're giving out good information. We want to make sure people get it. Also, I want you to reach out to me at AskFelicia at exitrealtywestmidtown.com. I want to be able to bring topics that you want to hear about. I want to come see you in your small group and talk to you about some things that you, as property owners, should know. Again, thank you. We will be signing off. At the very end, all our contact information is there. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Exit Realty's Realty, Resources, and Reality. Until next time.
The real estate market continues to change. Your local Exit Realty office is just a call away. At Exit Realty, we sell homes. Reach out to us today.
And we'll see you. Please write down the information, and don't forget to reach out to me at AskFelicia at exitrealtywestmidtown.com.